You're my learning machine, work like a dream. You're my computer divine. You're 16, you're a Commodore, and you're mine, oh mine. The new Commodore 16 computer, easy to use, easy to own. The affordable learning machine for the entire family. You're 16, you're a Commodore, and you're mine, oh mine, mine, mine.
Hello and welcome to another Retro Crazy. This is a Commodore 16. Never done one on the channel. This is going to be a bit of an adventure. I bought this over a year ago and it's never actually been out of the packaging. Let's just crack on, find out what's in the box. Now the box itself, not in the best condition. Big tears. Polystyrene inserts are quite damaged, but it's all about the adventure. So one Commodore 16. Definitely discoloured. I can see a change in the colour and it's quite grubby, so it will need a bit of a clean. You can probably see the discoloration there. So let's lift this out. Shame it's missing the manuals. If they're not in the top box, I'll need to see if I can find a set. So let's pop the 16 to the side. We have a power supply and a bunch of cables. So again, let's pop them to the side. And let's move this polystyrene. Dead bug, lovely. And in the top polystyrene, there's the manual hiding, along with a whole bunch of tapes and a dataset. So let's lift the dataset out. Cable has reacted with the polystyrene after all this time, so before this ever goes back in, it'll get bagged, so that doesn't happen once all this has been cleaned up, because that's quite bad. Manual is in not too bad condition. Quite nice. I wonder if the manual sits there and the warranty cards are supposed to sit in the bottom. Not to worry. Come on, chicken lips, let's pop you away. So this was released in '84. It was supposed to be a replacement for the VIC-20 and was designed to compete at the cheaper end of the computer market. It did resemble both the VIC-20 and the 64. However, internally, it now featured the new TED chip, which basically handled NTSC PAL video, sound, and the DRAM refresh. It was in the same family as the 116 and the Plus 4, allowing software to run as long as it could fit into the reduced 16K of memory and didn't access the user port of the Plus 4. Yeah, not surprisingly, it flopped in the States and was discontinued within a year. However, it did actually have moderate success in both Mexico and here in Europe. So we're going to look at this nice little piece of kit, but first, before we can do anything else, I'm going to look at the power supply. Now nicely, I can see the power supply is not potted. I can see inside, I can see a fuse and a cap. So we're going to look at this first. And just so you're aware, we got a video cable, and the other cable was a joystick adapter, because of course these use their own custom connectors. So let's look at the power supply to start with. So just the 3 screws and it should come apart. Well, that's basic. That's very basic. What I did spot is taking a little bit of knock in transit. That one's broken and bent over, that one's just bent. However, not the end of the world. We literally have a transformer, a cap, lots of fluff coming in everywhere, a fuse, and that's pretty much it. I'm a little wary about the fact that this has come off. However, we should be able to drop that back in and stabilise everything, because that should be, I guess, more like that. We'll get that in. So just the one cap to replace, 4700 UF, 16 volts. That's on the top so that it's sandwiched in the case and stops it from moving too much. So let's get this replaced. So there we go. That must have been one of the easiest replacements ever. Now, this is clearly marked as a 16 volt 4700 UF, 85 degrees, but by a company called Belcon. Ever heard of them? Not one of the recommended brands. Yeah, let's just bin that. Good Panasonic, 105 degrees. Unfortunately, that is much taller, so the foam is not going to reach the top, but it's there. So let's clean up the casing, clean up the cables, and then we can reassemble the power supply. So with that all done, let's find out what we've got. Hopefully, we should have, according to this, 9.5 volts. So first test, does it power on without going bang? And apparently the answer is yes. So it seems to be center negative. I'm putting out 14.8 volts. Okay, it's not under load. I'm going to guess that has to be within acceptable parameters, and that the final downgrading of the voltage will be done inside the C16. So with that done, let's put the power supply to the side, and let's bring back the C16 itself. So let's get this open and have a look inside. Now, like the VIC-20 and the Commodore 64, this has 1, 2, 3 screws. So now we have the mainboard out. Here we've got the TED chip, the 8360 revision 2. Somebody's marked it on pencil, 783 and 1179? Yeah, can't be. This wasn't produced until the 47th week of 84, so it's maybe wrong. So I can see a number of caps, 8 to be replaced, and a 7805. So the first thing I'm going to do is give the board a quick dust off, and then we'll replace these components. So with that all done and rebuilt, we can move on and have a look at the dataset. Going to guess that the belt in this is probably pretty much dead. The cable needs a good clean up, and the casing needs a clean as well. So let's get this apart, let's get it cleaned. Data serve, I've got a 1531 Datasette belt set. So let's get this stripped and ready for some action. So with that done and the cable all clean, let's pop this to the side, because you know what time it is, time for testing. So here we are ready to test. Let's see what we get. I'm not expecting much, there's a lot of moss chips in there. I'm really not expecting this to work straight away. Let's see what happens. So let's swap over to TV to start with, because I've got it connected by RF. Not ideal, but hey. And then we will get ready. Now let's see what happens. Do we get a power light to start with? Yes, we do. Let's start a scan. Well, we've found a channel, which is good. So let's do a back out. Oh my goodness. Okay, I did not expect that. Wow, it's actually working. Holy mother. Right, let's first of all do a quick keyboard test. Wow, this was unexpected. I did expect to have some sort of corruption on screen. I expected one of the moss chips to have failed. Well, that was disappointing in some respects. Okay, I'm going to pause here and be back in a second. I have the Diag 264. I've already got the joystick plugged in and the cassette and serial expansions plugged in. So let's get this in. And let's check and see that we get a full pass. So that's now working fine. Everything's tested as it should. Now that I know what to do, let's power it down. Let's try that dataset. So here we go. We've got the dataset now plugged in. I've also swapped over to my Commodore 64 AV lead, so hopefully the picture should be a little bit better. We are going to go and try Gun Law. I have no idea. It's another game I'm going to be dreadful at, but hey, let's see what happens. So we've got our tape. Let's power on. No, that's not good. Okay, my joystick is not working with this, so yeah, this is not going to be so good. So let's switch off. Let's just take out the joystick adapter. Yay, okay. So I'll skip through this bit, you'll see the relevant points as it loads. And there we go, that didn't take long at all. The Datasette has stopped automatically. Yeah, was expecting to try this with a joystick. Probably had a chance about then. So let's have a look and see what it says. 4 months of bloody alien attacks have taken their toll. You are left to fight alone against ruthless and bloodthirsty killers. Oh goody. So the keys are left and right is Z and C, up and down, square open brackets, and the right arrow below it, and fire is shift. Yeah, so this is not going to work very well for me, is it? Because I'm not going to be able to reach half of these without blocking the screen. Excellent. Oh, shift. Oh, I killed some. Okay. Yeah. This is not great. Where am I? Okay. Well, I think that just shows either how bad I am or how bad the game is. Not to worry. However, it does show that this is working absolutely perfectly, including the Datasette, so I'm really chuffed about that. Just I can't believe that this age of Commodore 16, with all its original MOS chips, is just doing its job. So, yay! So this will go back into storage at the moment. I hope you liked the video. Please remember to like, subscribe, click that thumbs up, because that does help. And I'll see you on the next Retro Crazy.